Welcome back, everybody, and happy Monday. It's cold day in DC. Obviously, there's a massive storm that is going up and down the country at the moment, but we are here, we are strong, we are united, and we are back for another episode of the Songs That Changed My Life with me, Emma G. Obviously, this podcast is all in support of my latest book, My Life, My Songs, My Healing, which is all about the stories of my own songs and how they have helped shape me, heal me, and help me process the experiences and trials and tribulations that life has thrown at me, as it does for every human. And of course, why am I talking about myself all the time? Good question. We're always talking to other musicians. It's really important that we also include other musicians into this conversation. So tonight, all the way from Virginia, I am joined by Gary Hoffman, who is also a singer-songwriter and is writing stories about his healing, his life journey, and his experiences. How are you, Gary? What's going on, my love?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So tell me, who are you? Where are you from? What's your story? What's your sign? And what's your superpower?
Superpower. My name's Gary Hoffman. I've been playing music off and on since I was 13, so over 45 years. I grew up in the Northern Virginia area, primarily between Herndon and Chantilly. On Centerville Road back in the day when it was farms, which we'll talk about that in a little bit. I'm married, have a wife named Kathy. We've been married for over 36 years. I have 4 kids, all grown, 3 boys and 1 girl. And 2 of them have grandkids, so I have 4 grandkids. And then, I have other family members, my mom and my brother. We're taking care of a lot of folks right now. We call it the sandwich generation. So that's what's going on. That's what, part of my past anyway.
That's awesome. Now, the important question is Kathy spelled the C or the K?
With the K.
Okay. I'm glad I checked. So as a songwriter, you have been writing music for a while, a couple of years, and you're part of the International Association of Songwriters, I think it's called.
It's one of the things I'm a member of, International Singer-Songwriters Association. Yeah, it's
my apologies.
No worries.
So who is Gary Hoffman as the rock star that we know him as?
I don't know about a rock star, but I do more recently know about writing songs, and I really love it because you can express your feelings and get things out and express them. And as a singer-songwriter, I guess that's my superpower because it's my song and I know the story, so I can go out and tell it and sing it well, and hopefully get those emotions across. What's the next question? I guess, go ahead.
No, you're good. So, this song hits home for me personally because I lost my father 3 years ago. But Back on the Farm is a song that you wrote for your father. And obviously you also make mention of your mum and growing up in Centerville, Virginia. So, on the whole, your writing style is very vivid. It's very, you're a storyteller, which I think is a beautiful skill, considering that a lot of singer-songwriters these days are not necessarily as vivid as your lyric writing is. But can you tell me where the motivation of this song came from? What got you to the point of writing this song for your parents?
Right. And I have to say, I'm sort of a late blooming songwriter. I said I played music off and on for years. I've been in bands. I've played bass for many people for 25, 30 years, but the songwriting probably more recently since 2010. I started writing songs then. And this one is a little later down the road. So I think I learned to be more descriptive and vivid. But yeah, I love telling stories from personal experiences, things that's happened in the past. And this specific story is in memory of my dad, who passed away in February 1997. And the last three words he told me were, "Please remember me." So one of the last things he told me before he passed away. So it kind of hung over me like, I need to write a song for him, how am I going to do this? But being so emotionally attached and it being so fresh and trying to figure out how to do it, that was difficult for a long while. I'll stop right there for the moment.
Yeah, no, I recognize it's a incredibly vulnerable subject. I completely appreciate, your willingness to be honest and open and show up for this. These kind of songs can really hit home for the listener, but also, it's a lot of it is just the process of the songwriter really coming to terms with whatever big event has happened. And, you mentioned it took a couple of years for you to get out of your head onto paper, as you
process. It actually took 20 years because I don't know if you remember, there was a song that Tim McGraw sung called "Please Remember Me," and those were the last three words he told me. So along came that song, and I thought, well, it's written already. How am I going to write a song? And then when I first heard that song, because of those words, I'd have to pull off the road, as I get tears in my eyes thinking about my dad and all that. But as time went on, and you can go right back there in an instant, but time does help some, and you start to remember all the good things and the good times, and those things sort of replace the sorrow. And so I struggled for literally 20 years how to write this song. And in January of 2017, I was at a friend's memorial. Her mom had passed away. And, as they talked about her, they spoke of all the good things that she had done for her family and the good name she had made for herself. And, I personally knew her, and I had a new idea popped in my head. And so I wrote it in 20 minutes after I had the way in my head, 20 years and then 20 minutes, I had it all written. Crazy. Yeah. So, most songs, I can get out really quick. It didn't take 20 years to come up with the idea. And part of it was I wanted to write it so that I could sing it in public and not be so tied to it emotionally. I'm like, how do I write that? How do I write a good song that, respects his memory, gives credit to that, and yet not be so emotionally tied so I go over the cliff, emotionally speaking, when I perform. Yeah. So I came up with the idea, why not? I think about the things that I can do for my grandkids and kids now. I'm like, things that I do for them. I think back to all the stuff my dad did. He had this little farm. He worked at United Airlines. He came home from Dulles Airport. He worked on the garden. We had, lots of cool animals, and he worked hard and did a lot of things. So I thought about where and how he raised us, and I thought this is how I can write something about him. It'll be about all the great things that he did, and mom too. So that's how I came up with the idea.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And you mentioned it took you only 20 minutes once you were in alignment to write this song. So, I feel that. I'm often, when I'm writing songs, I think my record was 18 minutes. So far, has been 18 minutes so far. Not bad.
Yeah.
So far, we'll see if we can beat that. But what is your songwriting process in general, or actually specifically for the song? What was your songwriting process?
Man, I don't remember specifically if I came up with the lyrics and then the melody, or if I did it the opposite. I don't remember, actually. I don't remember. But sometimes, I'm just saying general, sometimes it goes one way or the other, because I wrote an Irish instrumental, and then I had another songwriter, Laurie, I played it for her, and she goes, "Hey, that a line of the song says she's sweet as Irish cream." And so the next day I'm like, "Oh, let me write some words for this." And so I wrote lyrics to the music, and it's more of an excuse for instrumental for my first Irish tune. But so in that case, it was all the melody and everything came first, and I wrote lyrics for that song. So I'm sorry, I can't remember which way I did it for my dad's song.
No, I think that's another indication that you're just in alignment, right?
Yeah.
I describe it as like, you're kind of possessed by the creative angels who just knock on your door one day. You're like, "Hey, we're here." Boom, done.
Yeah, and it comes out on the paper and everything comes out pretty good. Yeah. I guess I'll make one point with it is it's 4 chords repeated over and over. And normally sometimes I'll have a structure, right? Like it'll be verse, chorus, maybe a bridge, and they'll all be a little different. And that's really cool. But this one, it's about a simpler time in my mind for me when I was a kid. And so I thought the song should be kind of simple too. So the chords are pretty simple. 4 chords just repeated. Yeah.
That's cool. What was the biggest breakthrough that you've personally felt as a result of writing this song?
I learned to be descriptive, in describing the house, the farm, the animals. So whereas a lot of the other stories I've told, they weren't describing a place and time. They might be describing something fun that happened in a little honky tonk or something, but this was very specific to a time, very specific to the old house that we had and the barn. So I described, how it all looked and laid out, and people seem to identify with that. I have some feedback from some family and friends, but the proudest thing that happened related to this song, I was playing it at Two Twisted Post in near Purcellville in 2019, and I'm playing it, and this guy comes up afterwards, and he's almost in tears. He said, "I had to almost take my contacts out," and he's like a strong old biker guy, Well, I'd say he's younger than me, so strong young biker guy. And he said he had to almost take his contacts out, so I was able to connect directly to his heart. So that's the first time that happened for me. I mean, I've written a lot of songs, and there's a lot of music out there. So there's a lot of people out there. There's a big audience, but to get them to actually stop by and listen to your music is hard. So for me, I don't really care if I'm ever a big star around the world or anything like that. But that moment in time, I made it in music when I connected with that guy's heart. He was from Massachusetts. He grew up in the rural area, so he had some sort of memory like mine. And that's been true of a few people online mentioned the same thing, that it connected with it. So I thought that was really cool that I was able to connect to somebody like that.
You're making me teary-eyed myself. I'm not gonna lie. That's beautiful. Having worked in Massachusetts for 3 months when I first moved to the country, I'm very familiar with, with what the rural Massachusetts looks like. And of course, coming from New Zealand, we're all about that farm life. So no, I hear that 100%. In fact,
you're from New Zealand? That's cool.
Yeah. Just an added fun fact about me. But no, that's awesome. And you've answered my next question, which was, have you received any feedback from friends or fans? And so I'm wondering, your mother, you talk about your mother a little bit in this song as well. And we were just talking before about how she's a bit of a firecracker, even still at the age of 93. So
trying to learn banjo, she is.
That's amazing.
I played the song for her. And since I'm not on like Spotify and YouTube music or anything like that, she goes, "I can't call it up and listen to your song. And I'm so proud of it. So I had to get her I had a CD. So I gave her the CD. She goes, I don't have a CD player. So then she ordered a CD player so she can play my song.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
That's adorable. But you've got the music video on YouTube. Why have you chosen not to put it up on Spotify or YouTube or whatever?
She can barely see, so it's better for her to listen. So
right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know that she can see the video if I brought it up. She's got really bad eyesight, so she'd have to be up there like this with her thing, like watching it, you know.
Fair. So tell me, what is it about this song, Back on the Farm, that really makes this your life-changing song?
I guess I touched on it already, was the fact that I was able to connect with somebody else's heart and right there playing live, and you know they got teary-eyed. That's part of it, and learning to write a really good song, being very descriptive, and then also the number one thing was, you know, fulfilling my dad's. I call it the last job that he assigned me. And the first job he assigned me, I was a real little guy. He used to make fun of this. I'll go ahead and give him this thing that he used to always embarrass me with. I'll go ahead and do this as for him. But the first job that he gave me was, he gave me a little wagon and a shovel, and I had to go pick up the manure in the field. And I came up to him and I grabbed his pants and I said, Daddy, I don't like this doo-doo job. And he would tell that for years, over and over again, to embarrass me. So that was his first job, and his last job was Please Remember Me. So I fulfilled my last job too.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So without further ado, I mean, that's beautiful with the Please Remember Me, the doo-doo. Okay. I can relate, believe it or not, but yeah.
Well, you have that out in the country with the cows and the horses and everything.
Exactly. I ain't mad. Okay, on that note, let's have a listen to Back in the Farm.
Sorry.
That's fine. Back in the Farm by Gary Jay Hoffman.
I remember a time when I was never in a hurry, when I thought I had forever in this world. Laying on the bank, fishing bobber in the pond, watching clouds pass by me overhead. As we grew up, so did the towns around us, in our little two-lane backwoods country road turned into a four-lane busy highway, plowing straight for my childhood. The road to progress is paved with good intention, full of dreams of better days and guarantees. Yes, the road to progress is paved with good intention, till it's paving over your childhood. See our big old country house high up on that hill, see the front porch wrapped around just like a hug. Hey, won't you come on in and sit down for a spell? Stove to warm you, snug as a bug. From that back porch you can see that old barn. Milked the cows and built a music room upstairs. We had fun sliding down that back hill in the snow till we ended up in Frying Pan Creek. The road to progress is paved with good intention, full of dreams of better days and guarantees. Oh, the road to progress is paved with good intention, till it's paving over your childhood. Thanks for raising us in the country. Dad for teaching us to work hard every day. Now we're trying hard to raise our kids just like you taught us, free to show kindness every day. Nowadays I don't like driving down Centerville Road, except down the memories of my mind. And Dad, I remember that last job that you gave me. For sure, I remember you. The road to progress is paved with good intention, so I let my dreams and memories carry me back to a time when things were simpler, back to the farm in my childhood.
That's my dad.
Handsome man. Thank you so much for sharing this with us, Gary.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I'd like to give a shout out to some of the musicians that played on the album. The hand percussion by Nathan J. Strong. He was a newbie, so you have to learn to start somewhere. He did a great job. And Vince Faribault was the harmonica and concertina player on there. We call him Fireball, nickname Vince Fireball. He did a great job. And then the gentleman playing stand-up bass, he's throughout the rest of my album, he's played for Dolly Parton, Merle Haggard, and a bunch of others.
Just casually. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Mark Lewis is his name. He's played for a lot of legends, and he's a great fiddle player. So he's on some of the other stuff too. So, yep. Thanks for having me and putting back the farm on there for people to listen. Appreciate it.
Of course. And, you know, again, I want to give you props for using your voice in a way that helps to bridge those memories and, you know, help those who have lost their father, like yours truly, and remembering the positive memories. So thank you.
You're welcome.
And for everybody else who is watching right now, where can we check out what's next for Gary Jay Hoffman?
Well, there's GaryJHoffman.com, or shorter, GJHoffman.com. We've got some shows lined up later this year when the weather breaks. I haven't been playing inside anywhere really. So
Smart.
got some shows lined up. One is kind of cool. I'm at Cascades Overlook Center once a month, every Thursday evening. I got something lined up for the whole summer with them, so that's kind of cool. I'm still looking for other places, and I would like to branch out and meet and play with more musicians who are in the roots genre, bluegrass, country, and I'm looking to open or do some stuff with other people. So if anybody's listening and they would like to have me play, go check out my live videos. I'm not too bad. I'm pretty good. So I won't stink it up for you.
I love it.
Reaching out to the community.
Wonderful. And it's an international community, you know. I think one of the things about being the pandemic at the moment, if anything, is that we've been able to branch out and be more creative with how we're connecting with one another.
Yeah.
So,
I miss Gypsy Sally's. I used to play there once a year, and I miss playing there. But
yeah, for sure.
Did you ever get to play there?
I did not. We were
place.
slated to play there, and then of course the pandemic. You know, so
yeah.
Nonetheless,
cool place.
There's places I believe are made by the people. So thank you for being a good people.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Wonderful. And for everybody else who's listening, of course, you know, Gary Jay Hoffman or gjhoffman.com. My name is Emma G. You can check out my stuff at emmagmusic.com. And if you are interested in turning your stories into songs of healing, of empowerment, and of overcoming, by all means, get in touch. Info at emmagmusic. Until next time, friends, be good, be kind, spread love like it's going out of fashion, be your own kind of superhero, and don't forget to, I don't know, pay your taxes. That's probably a very important one right now.
I just finished mine. They're a pain.
I salute you, sir.